What would be the first one or two steps you would take to put American education back on track and to reach those young people who are now as turned off as they can possibly be?
Number one, I would have parental choice, whether you call it a voucher, tax credit, don't care what name it is or what kind of device, but some way in which parents can decide to yank their kids out of that school if it's not doing the job. Because as long as the school has a captive audience, an ironclad tenure, they're going to do what they want to do, no matter what the public wants, no matter what the parents want, no matter what the taxpayers want, and no matter what the employers want.
Would you be in favor of Bill Clinton's system of choice in public schools, not simply for parochial or other?
It's a question of whether that's better than the present system. Virtually everything is better than the present system, and so therefore that's better.
But the present system, at least in its earlier appearance, was what educated you, Dr. Sowell.
Oh, certainly. But it wasn't the present system then.
But without the kind of choice that you're talking about. I mean, you went to a neighborhood school. You did what you had to do. But
you did have a certain amount of choice within the public school. That's very true. But many things have happened now, so that there's no other escape hatch. In other words, right now, those teachers weren't unionized the way they are today.
Well, is that the attempt then? Is that the goal of choice, is to break the unions at the schools?
No, it's not to break the unions. It's to allow the parents to have an option. The great problem in education throughout is that people are not accountable. They can run those schools to indulge themselves, whatever fad they like, for whatever way they like to teach. And that goes all the way through to the colleges. The professors are there to do their research. And if the students don't get in the way, they don't mind. But those schools are not being run as places for teaching.
All right. So in addition to school choice, what else?
Oh, elimination of tenure at all levels. Well, that may not be universally popular, but they've done it in England, so it can be done. As long as people are rewarded just for being alive and sitting there for a certain number of years, regardless of the quality of work that they do, you cannot expect good quality work.
What about the financial factor, Dr. Sowell? You talked about it earlier and said that, everybody keeps blaming the fact that the schools aren't doing well on lack of resources, and it's not just money that's the problem.
Not only is it not just money, I would even argue that the country has been generous to a fault. You look at other countries around the world, that includes Japan, Australia. The average American kid gets twice as much money spent on him as the average kid in New Zealand. Kids in New Zealand are doing a lot better. They're getting a lot more spent on them than was spent on the kids in my era. And they're doing much worse than the kids in my era. I mean, I had to send my daughter to a private school to get an education almost as good as I got in the public school for nothing. So we have fallen very far behind.